Welcome back to the Wind Tunnel. We're here today with Christoph Strasser, who is the RAAM champion, the fastest guy across all of America. Now, RAAM is Race Across America. It is this absolutely crazy race. A race from California to Maryland, straight through. Your time includes sleep, eating, everything straight on the bike, and you've done that in 7 days, 22 hours. Yeah. All right, so here we go to defend that. And we're here to do a test today to figure out, after you go through California, over the Rocky Mountains, descend back down, you hit Kansas. What's it like to ride through Kansas?
Kansas is a very tough part of the race. You have a lot of wind, mostly side wind, and it's only flat, it's only straight. It's really boring sometimes, but I kind of enjoy it because I'm very strong in the flat parts of the race. I'm not the lightweight mountain rider. I prefer the flat parts, and that's why I know Kansas is better for me than for the others. I don't really like it, but sometimes, yeah, it's better for me.
So we're going to spend some time in the wind tunnel today trying to give you even a little bit more advantage there, test out all the different combos and the ways to do it, and see how much faster you can get across Kansas.
Obviously, Christoph is quite dialed, being a two-time champion and record holder at RAAM, and he's riding the Shiv quite a bit with a disc wheel, so he's picked a lot of the low-hanging fruit already. But what he's here for today is to kind of nail down all the little small things that for someone like you and I may be a small difference or no difference at all, but for someone like Christoph can actually add up to a pretty significant difference when you're riding across America or Kansas. So we had him come in here and jump on the bike and basically simulate what it's like riding across Kansas for him. And immediately we noticed three things that we wanted to take a closer look at. One was his jersey and how he was wearing it. Two was the sponsor stickers on his helmet and where they were placed. And the third one was the bottle location for his nutrition. So for the jersey, it was actually kind of funny. He hopped in here and we didn't say anything. He just kind of unzipped it and it started flapping around. We're like, oh, what are you doing? And apparently Kansas is not just windy, but it's also quite hot. So he was saying that when he rides through Kansas, his jersey is open most of the time. And the first obvious thing was, well, do you have to wear the jersey? And he was like, yeah, with sponsor obligations, we have to have the jersey. So the alternative that we tested was basically tucking the jersey in behind his bib shorts. So bunching it up as much as possible and shoving it into the bib shorts so that it's still open to get that cooling effect, but to minimize as much as possible that parachute flapping effect from the jersey. So the second thing that we checked was stickers on his helmet. So he has this one giant sponsor sticker that was originally right over the front vents. And having designed this helmet, we kind of knew that the front vents were pretty critical in keeping airflow through the midsection of the helmet and out the back. And so we wanted to check to see if moving that sticker back would both increase ventilation and comfort for him and also have a minimal to zero impact on aerodynamics. The last thing was we noticed his water bottle was mounted on the seat tube, and he really only needs to carry one because he has a support car with him all the time. And through all the testing that we've done with our pro triathletes especially, we've known that there are different locations that are better for the bottle, and one of those being tucked up right behind the saddle. So we asked him, are you okay with reaching back there for your one bottle? He's like, definitely. So the one thing that we wanted to try was to see if we could somehow improve the aerodynamics of the entire setup by moving the bottle back there. So by now you guys know that our standard format for presenting results in here is seconds saved per 40 kilometers. But this is a little bit of a unique and special situation with Christoph, so we're instead going to present the results in minutes over Kansas. So let's look at the three changes that we just went through. The first one was you went in there and zipped your jersey and it was flapping all around, and we then pushed it in and tucked it in. So that difference actually was by tucking it in, you got very close to having it fully zipped, so it was a big, big improvement. And over the course of Kansas, that would have saved about 7 minutes. Just by doing that difference. So a nice little chunk there. The second change, and this one was actually pretty cool too, just by moving that sticker. So the sticker from covering the vents to not covering the vents, that little change was worth 4 and change minutes over the course of Kansas. Yeah. So now we're starting to add up the minutes here. And the last change that we did was just moving the bottle from the frame to behind the saddle. That change was also worth about 7 minutes or so. So adding up the three changes, and these are pretty small changes. For normal people, these would be very, very small changes. But for you, over the course of Kansas, it's almost 20 minutes
Yeah,
of extra
20
things on
minutes is one small sleep break, so it's one power nap.
That's insane. A little
free.
power nap.
One power nap for free.
Awesome.
So the stuff that was done in here today are all additional changes from what you did last year when you set the record. So all little changes, but things that you might apply and think of, right? And if we add it up, it's a long race, you know, over almost 8 days. The differences could amount to be on the order of a couple of hours. I mean, that's...
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I mean, I just sleep for 6 hours on the whole race. So if we can save 2 or 3 hours, this is the half amount of sleep for me, and this is quite a lot.
There are a lot of people that need more than 6 hours of sleep every night, and sometimes just 1 hours in 1 week. So it's pretty amazing. Aerodynamics matters regardless, but it obviously adds up like crazy when you're going for that long of a race. So thanks to Christoph, and good luck to him at RAAM. Continue to ask your questions through specialized social media, #ArrowsEverything, and I promise we will get to more tests, especially all you people asking for mountain bike baggies versus a tighter clip. We're getting there. We'll get there, promise. So what do you eat when you're out racing around?
I don't eat nothing, because that's one of the most important things, to have enough energy, and you need to eat and drink, but in my case I just use this Ensure, 1 can per hour and 1 bottle of electrolyte carbohydrate drink, so it's about 500 calories per hour, it's about 12,000 calories per day, and that's all I need. So I avoid solid food, I just drink.
Okay. But you said last year you had a couple pretzels, right?
Yes, okay, I had 5 pretzels in 8 days.
Five small pretzels, not big, 5 small pretzels, okay. What's your favorite part of the entire race?
The favorite part is from the scenery. It's the first 2 days when you cross Arizona and the desert in the Monument Valley, but this is very tough because it's very hot. It's very hot in the beginning, you cross the desert, and then you have Rocky Mountains. They are also very tough because of the altitude. And then it becomes a bit normal when you come Kansas, Missouri, but then you get tired, and the tiredness gets very tough. So it's not really enjoyment over the whole race, but there are different parts which are very nice, but everything depends on the crew. I have a support crew of 11 guys, and if they have a good time and if they make some jokes, and then everything is easier for me.
What's your crew's favorite part of the race?
My crew's favorite part of the race is, I think, when they are allowed to sleep for a couple of hours in the camper van.
What's your least favorite state to go across?
I don't like Missouri because there are a lot of aggressive car drivers, so that's not nice. That's really dangerous. And when you compare it to California or Arizona, people there are really nice. They offer help if you are out there, and yeah, but Missouri is very bad from the drivers, and then West Virginia is very bad because you have Appalachians. They are very steep climbings, yeah.
I'm trying to think about the other stuff that we were talking about earlier. It's pretty funny. I was blown away by the whole thing.
Sleeping, we already had that.
I'm not gonna ask you how many times you have to take a piss. That's not.
Yes, I can. There's one more thing I can.
It's like an astronaut. Like you always just want to know. Like you don't all these other things. Like how does it work? But you just how do you go to the bathroom?
Yeah. On the first day, on the first 24 hours, I have to drink 30 liters because it's very, very hot, and then I have to stop for a pee for that much. So in the first 24 hours, I have to pee that much and drink 30 liters, and then after a while, you drink about 1 liter per hour.
What is the first thing that you eat after you finish the whole race?
Everything possible. Everything my crew gives to me. Maybe when we reach the finish line in the middle of the night, it's just another Ensure because every bar has closed. And if we reach the finish line during the day, then we go to a restaurant for a big steak.
And how long do you sleep immediately? Like, what's that first sleep afterwards? How long do you sleep? Do you sleep for 6 days?
No, I just sleep for a couple of hours, then I wake up and then, oh, what's wrong? Where am I? What am I doing? I just need to collect my thoughts, and then I sleep on, and I sleep 2 or 3 times a day after the race, but the rhythm is very confused. So you're awake at night, you sleep during the day, it's very confusing, and then after, I think, a week, it gets ordinary again. You have a normal life after a week.
Do you do that right now? Like in the last 2 weeks leading up to the race? Do you change your sleep schedule?
No, I only try to sleep as much as possible, to relax as much as possible. So when you are on the starting line, you must be 100% fit and 100% relaxed.
Cool. Awesome. Amazing race.